Hold on. Just want to make sure this is upload. This is live. Um, Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. Welcome back to my WWE Smackdown review. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments something you guys want to see more. We're going to talk about Smackdown tonight. Now, this will be an hour and 10 minutes of a live stream on WWE Smackdown. The world of Summerslam had begun. We got like a 2-week build. I already did my live stream on Monday Night Raw. We're going to do Smackdown. We'll talk about the news and rumors in the wrestling world. We'll talk about a little bit of TNA, what we think there, and AJ Styles potentially coming to the pay-per-view. We'll talk a little bit about AEW, maybe NXT. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. It's sponsored by my favorite podcaster, JD from New York, Solemn Author, Fightful, RJ Salcedo, JD from New York, and other podcasts I know of. Now, I think there's only 3 matches that was on this show. I believe only 3 matches. I can't remember what other matches on there. We have like 3 matches. This is the opener. Charlotte and Raquel Rodriguez. It was a decent match. Damian Priest and Carmelo Hayes ended in a DQ because of Aleister Black. The Fatal 4 was pretty good. Andrade and Rey Fenix won. Now now I'm glad this is 2 hours. The only thing that mattered on this show was John Cena and Cody Rhodes in the contrast segment. Now it's still on. SmackDown's almost over, so I might as well to show y'all that. I actually want y'all to hear some of it. Alright. I'm gonna let y'all hear some of it. Cause the contract sign's still on, so I'm gonna let y'all hear John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Please, okay? Everybody knows I am filming a big movie for Netflix in New York City. Netflix knows about this.
What the? Before the camera.
Surprises here. We talked. Things are transparent. I am emotionally exhausted. And we all feel that it is best I do not physically compete at Summerslam. Wait, oh, no. Let's not jump to conclusions here. Hey. I know about earning stuff, and I'm out here to be the good guy. Okay, you earned a rematch. You are going to get your rematch. We'll do it in Paris. We can do it in Perth. But as far as SummerSlam goes, boss, there is no way, in good faith, that I can sign this contract. Okay? Now look, hey, whoa. I know you're upset. We are all upset. Okay, we're all upset. There is nothing we can do here. There is nothing we can do. Because if my name goes on the contract, Cody, I have to be at SummerSlam. We took this thing right up into the final minute. All right? Tough choice to make. But we all talked. Everybody realized I'm working real hard. Emotionally, I'm just out of it. This is a tough decision, but this was what's best for business right now, okay? Guys, really, hey, whoa, really. You guys, you don't even know how hard it was to be here tonight, okay?
Let me know y'all can hear it.
This is the farewell tour, you know? I wanted to give you guys fireworks. I wanted to give you guys a night to remember. But hey, I'm just at right now, physically, emotionally, this is all I can give you guys. I thank you so much, and I appreciate your understanding and your patience in this matter. Cody, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're going to get that rematch. Good night, San Antonio. Cena walking out. Well, he's just the ultimate in mealy-mouthed cowardice from an absolute rat of a human. Wait a minute. Yes! Cena said there's nothing we can do.
Uh-oh.
We decided we can do this. There's something to be done. Oh, you want to see a fight? Well, you can. You won't hear. He is on the attack against the undisputed champion, and now they're going at it out on the floor.
So is it going to lead to a big brawl?
Do it! Yes! Oh! Those days of virtue over victory are in the rear view mirror now.
Okay.
It's not just a match for the title at Summerslam. It's a street fight! The biggest party of the summer just got bigger!
Street fight. A street fight. A street fight. Well, that was the end of Smackdown. John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. In the main event of SummerSlam won the night, a street fight. I'm glad we have a stipulation. Now we got no disqualification. They can use weapons. They can fight into the crowd. Well, I think it's absolutely needed after the shit match we got at WrestleMania. You gotta do something interesting. So I'm glad that we had a stipulation. I'm honestly so glad we have a stipulation that makes sense. Now let me know y'all can hear that. Well, that was the end of the show. I could have sworn something could happen. Well, we could get interference if we get Travis Scott or The Rock showing up. I wonder what could happen. Cody will win the belt back? What's gonna happen there? John Cena shooting a movie. Cody Rhodes supposed to be off TV because he's supposed to be in that new game or something. Alright. Now we can get into the other show. Alright, so let me get into this. Let's get into the rest of Smackdown. Alright, hold on. Hold on for a second. We got Joe Cronin beat the clock.
Meet Jeremiah and Elijah.
Hold on. Want to show all the podcasters first before I can talk about Smackdown. Alright. Now, oh yeah, I forgot the other match I want to talk about. We had Piper Niven drills Stephanie Vaquer when Vaquer beat Alba Fire. And it was a pretty quick match, pretty short. Obviously, Stephanie Vaquer being protected. She'll be on SmackDown, so she might go after Tiffany Stratton title if Jade doesn't win. We'll have to see what happens there. Now, the other big thing I forgot to talk about, we had a pretty good brawl here with Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso battling the New Bloodline. They battled solo. Now, earlier in the show, I thought Fatu looked like he was going to get arrested by the cop. But I guess they swerved on. Fatu came to the arena out of the police car from the police officers, and he came to the ring. He attacked the New Bloodline. Jimmy helped him. Then we saw the security guard, Adam Pearce. Now, I thought they were going to arrest Jacob Fatu again, but no, they arrested Solo. Solo got arrested. Now, we know at SummerSlam, Solo's going to defend the U.S. title in a steel cage match with Jacob Fatu. Pretty sure Fatu had to win the title back. Or is something going to happen? We don't know. but that's the match for SummerSlam. We had a vignette with the White Six. They vowed to scramble all 10 teams on SmackDown. We had Tiffany and Jay prepare for their SummerSlam match. I don't think they were on the show. If they were in the Big Seven. They showed the vignette. Well, there's no story. It's not. That's not really a good build. Alright.
And I admit, I was one of the sheep screaming, "Whoa!" I feel so ashamed. TV. She got as much screen time as the U.S. champ. Flopper who says, "Sí, sí, Colombia, sí, sí, Cari." Probably traveling with that. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Instagram video.
And obviously there's lots of WrestleManias you could name, whatever, but I remember breaking...
Alright, let's go into the other podcast.
I've told that story before.
It was a contract signing, but they tried to make it seem like the match wasn't gonna happen, right? So John Cena goes out there and he says that he's emotionally exhausted, and I thought, I'm stealing that from now on. Whenever I don't feel like doing anything, I'm gonna claim that I'm emotionally exhausted, by the way. And so he started talking about how, Netflix knows this and I don't know what else, and that it's a last minute thing, but he's being serious, and he's not going to be at SummerSlam, and this match isn't going to happen. And I think all of us watching that knew, yeah, right, bud, like, for sure, you're not going to wrestle at SummerSlam. Like, we all know that's definitely not going to happen. We know we're going to see you at SummerSlam. But what I was thinking was, why are they doing this, right? Like, there's got to be, like, this big reveal as to why they're doing it this way. There really wasn't anything other than them basically Cody Rhodes attacking John Cena when he walked away. So the walking away allowed John Cena allowed Cody Rhodes to go out and chase after John and go after him, bring him into the ring, give him a whooping, freaking splash off the top rope onto the table to John Cena while Cody is holding on to the contract, and then forcefully force John Cena to sign the contract for this matchup. So John was basically being a coward, was trying to back out of facing Cody Rhodes, and that was not going to happen, clearly. So that was really it. They did add a stipulation, which is huge. I'm excited for the stipulation. They added that this is a street fight. Now, if you guys know anything about me, you know that I'm a sucker for quite a few things. One of those is a street fight, and of course ladder matches. I love ladder matches. But the street fight, I think that this being a street fight will make this match drastically better, because from what I saw after WrestleMania match, I feel, and I'm sorry to say this, but I feel that John Cena and Cody Rhodes do not have the best in-ring chemistry together. And that is based off that freaking WrestleMania match. Because we all talk about that WrestleMania match not being good, right? We talk about how, Travis Scott was out there and he took forever and he was walking so slow. And we talk about Cody Rhodes not taking the freaking chair shot when he had the chance and it made him look stupid. We talk about all of that. But I feel what we don't talk about enough, or maybe I don't talk about enough, is how even before the Cody not taking the chair shot, and even before Travis Scott coming out, was that the match between John Cena and Cody Rhodes was just not that good. And that is just the truth on that, for me at least. It's my truth. That's how I felt when I was watching this matchup. So, with the element of it being a street fight, I think that makes it a little bit more exciting, because now we got the stipulation, okay, it's going to completely change the dynamic of this match, which is, I think, what we needed. However, I think now we know that we are most likely going to get everyone and their mothers involved in this matchup. Like, we're going to probably see Travis Scott once again. I don't know about The Rock. A couple of people have asked me whether or not I expect The Rock to come out. I will be completely honest, I want him to come out, but I just don't know anymore. I really just don't know anymore about that. I've gotten to the point where my expectations of The Rock coming out are just always going to be at 0. 0. Always and forever. They will be at 0. Until he actually comes out, great, amazing, wonderful, love it. But they're going to remain at 0. So that if he doesn't come out, there won't be this, oh, it didn't happen. And then if he does come out, I'll be elated. Great, he's out there. Let's see what happens, right? So if you ask me, do I think The Rock's going to come out? I truly don't have an answer for you, but I would like to see it. We did get a mention again of The Rock today as Cody Rhodes was sort of recapping his journey in WWE this year. And my favorite part of it, and I even tweeted this out, my favorite part of that Cody Rock mention was that he said, you know, I didn't flinch when The Rock wanted my soul. And I thought, damn right, buddy, you just stood there and let The Rock caress your face. Damn, bro, I haven't been touched like that since the honeymoon. That's a joke, by the way. All right. I'm on one tonight, guys. I'm on one tonight. All right. I'm done. I paused myself. Anyway, so, no, for real. So it wasn't anything too crazy, but that's the gist of it. I'm more excited now for the SummerSlam matchup with Cody and John. I think they needed this added stipulation. Seth Ross says TMI. Oh man, so funny. All right, well, that was really like one of the biggest topics of the night, but there was still a lot of really great stuff that took place on SmackDown that I do want to get into. So I'm going to go in a chronological format and knock this out. So Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez. Now this was a match where both girls, they had their cute little buddies out there. Now that I think about it, wow, they really did have their cute little buddies out there. Charlotte. So when I was doing the watch along for this match, I was talking about how there aren't really many girls on the roster that are the size of Charlotte Flair or the size of Raquel or the size of Rhea, because a lot of the women in WWE are very petite. And I had said that I like to watch Charlotte and Raquel wrestle because they're both around the same stature. So I thought, okay, that's really cute, right? Like I like that. But now this is what makes it cute is that they both have a small friend. And I say this because I'm the small friend too, okay? So no diss to Alexa or Roxanne, because I think actually they're both taller than me, so it's all right. I can say this. As a fellow short person, I can talk about this. Alexa Bliss being out there with Charlotte Flair, her cute little friend, and then Roxanne Perez being out there with Raquel, her cute little friend too. We saw both of them try to get involved. Roxanne, of course, being first because they're the heel group, and then Alexa Bliss obviously having the back of her friend Charlotte Flair. So I love this. I really, really love this. I have been saying how I've been wanting to see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss basically become the tag team champions. I do think it'll happen at SummerSlam, so I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. I think it's just the right way to go. Like, they are hot, they're exciting. We're gonna see them face Raquel and Roxanne at SummerSlam, so I feel like that's definitely gonna be where they win the tag team titles. On top of that, I also liked that they announced that next week we're gonna be seeing Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez. Oh God, I'm so excited. I'm excited for this because when I was doing the watch along, I was talking about how Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez, we mentioned the height similarities. They're very petite, very, very similar in lots of ways, but also their style. They're two cute little Hot Topic girls, and we're going to be seeing our cute two little Hot Topic girls wrestle each other next week on SmackDown. So this, for me, feels like a dream because I really like Alexa and I really like Roxanne, and so seeing them mix it up together, I'm really looking forward to that heading into SummerSlam. But overall, the Charlotte Alexa Bliss team could not have come at a better time. Truly, that this has turned things around for Charlotte. I can cheer for Charlotte and no one gets mad at me anymore. I love this because you all know that I've been a Charlotte Flair fan for a very long time. I know a lot of people were already over Charlotte Flair, and now I feel like she has weaseled her way into people's hearts and got in a soft spot now through her pairing with Alexa Bliss. So I am happy that I can come out here and continue to cheer for Charlotte Flair now that she's with Alexa. So good stuff that we saw with all of that. Now, the other big story that played out during the show, we kind of saw threaded in and out of the night. So we kicked off the show with an accident angle. And basically, My Family Tree, MFT. Sorry, with the fonts and everything, I want to say MJF. But anyways, MFT, My Family Tree, this current iteration of the Solo Sikoa's bloodline, was involved in a little bit of a car accident. Now, we didn't actually see it, but they were banged up, and the authorities were out there, and Pierce was out there, and they were trying to figure out, okay, what happened here? What went wrong, right? Who did it? And of course, they went to go blame Jacob Fatu instantly, right? Instantly, they were like, oh yeah, this guy, he was a criminal once. He's going to be always a criminal. Solo Sikoa even said those very words on a promo later on that evening. So they basically judged Fatu off of his past and assumed that he was the one that did this to MFT. It was later revealed that it was not him, but in fact it was Solo Sikoa. So I guess Solo Sikoa just played Boy Who Cried Wolf, and there wasn't probably even an accident or anything. They just pretended it all. And so Solo Sikoa gets arrested. Now, this was the funniest shit on the show. This was the funniest shit on the show. I don't care what anyone says. Fight me in the comments. This was the funniest thing that happened, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the classic video images that we have seen throughout WWE history is we've seen a lot of people get arrested in wrestling, of course. But the most one that is the most iconic, the coolest one, the one where you're like, oh shit, that's badass. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin with his handcuffs behind him, and he's, cursing up a storm, and he's, doing the thing, and he's got so much freaking attitude, and he's a real badass, right? Like, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then Solo Sikoa was arrested today, and it was the funniest thing because he was, whatever the opposite of Stone Cold Steve Austin is, that was Solo Sikoa. The complete opposite of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was boiling hot Steve Austin. Complete opposite, alright? He went out there, he was getting arrested. You could tell he didn't really know how to, react. And then the best part was he did a little kick. He was trying to, kick the policeman or whatever. It was the funniest thing ever. And so go back and watch it. My words do not do this justice. Go back and watch that segment if you didn't see it. Alright, so Solo Sikoa, we did actually see, by the way, a matchup here. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. It was the attack. Excuse me. I don't know why I was thinking it was a match for a second. It was the attack that we ended up seeing. Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, they go out there, they fight MFT, and it was after the fight that we found out that it was Solo Sikoa. But this was kind of cool. They teamed up to try to take out Tala Tonga, Jimmy and Fatu. They did everything they possibly could to take out Tala Tonga. Very cool stuff. I actually did like this, beat down this attack that they did. This whole entire melee was fun. I actually feel like they did, even though I'm making fun of Solo Sikoa, please understand that I actually love this because I thought it was hilarious the way that he was arrested. I love the brawl that happened between all of them. I thought it was perfectly executed. And I also did like how Solo Sikoa, how Jacob Fatu we've known as that guy. And honestly, had it been him, I would have been like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. I want to see badass Fatu. For a fact, if they did a thing where they which I don't think they should. I don't know if they should or if they shouldn't. I don't know what the rules are with that, considering he does have a past. I don't know what the rules are with that, but if they did do something like that where they ended up arresting Jacob Fatu, you just know it'd be badass, though. He would actually look the part of someone who was getting he would look like badass like Stone Cold Steve Austin did. So that's where I'm at with that. But I did enjoy what they did here, so that was pretty fun. All right, let me see what else really won me over. We do got a super chat, by the way. Thank you so much, Joe Compton. Appreciate you. He says, just showing some love to my DWO family. When are the DW shirts coming out? Joe, we actually do have some DWO shirts over at Pro Wrestling Tees. I have so much stuff.
Going to the other podcasters.
Trying the secret menu item.
Hold on.
For only $9.99
God damn with these damn commercials.
Cena. Cena tried to fight back, and then Cena got the championship. Cody avoided the belt shot, and then Cody took the title. He hit John Cena with the title. He put John Cena on a table. He took the contract, and with the contract, jumped off the top rope with a splash, putting Cena through the table. And then he took Cena's hand. He got the pen with Cena's hand and signed the contract. Now, Wade Barrett, he needed to play this up more. He needed to be like, that's not legally binding, do the whole Bobby Heenan thing. But beyond that, this was one of those segments where it was entertaining. Didn't really make logical sense. Again, kind of felt like an Attitude Era type of segment with Cody using Cena's hand to sign the contract, just like when Austin would take the unconscious Vince and go 1, 2, 3 when Vince was the referee. So obviously doesn't make any sense realistically, but it's fun. That was stuff they did in the Attitude Era, so it was a little throwback to that. And then Cody had one more little nugget of information, and that was the match at SummerSlam is going to be a street fight. So there you have it. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena in a street fight at SummerSlam. And as Building Nexus said, thank you, Building Nexus, for the $2 super chat, says much harder to cheat in a street fight. Yes, very true. But
family, I do.
Now
I'll pray for you and your family as well.
let me show you Fightful Pro Wrestling. We got
keep kicking ass, stay strong, and be that rock for your family that you can. I know you are, dude.
Hell yeah. In a very different chat, Lee Norma says it's raining natties and Braun Breakers here. I'm assuming that's an incredibly creative way of saying cats and dogs.
Wow.
Not safe to crank. Well, we certainly don't want the electricity of the cranking to.
All right, a really good wrestling match that we did get to see, though. This was the one that gave me my daily fix for the day. Was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, DIY versus Rey Fénix and Andrade versus Faction versus Motor City Machine Guns. Dive party, super kick party, you name it, all of the parties happened in this matchup here. This was a really, really nice, just go-getter type of match where each guy went in there, hit their spot, did their thing. And the best part of this, I was so thrilled when Andrade got the win for his team with Rey Fénix. Now, the reason why I was thrilled about that was because I like the pairing of Rey Fénix and Andrade. Andrade is a guy that even when the show was 3 hours, wasn't even getting really anything on the show. So the fact that he's now teaming with Rey and they're going to go up against the Wyatt Six, I'm not expecting them to defeat the Wyatt Six, but let me tell you, if Rey Fénix and Andrade became tag team champions, I would be so freaking happy. You would be able to measure my smile with a ruler, and my smile would be bigger than the freaking ruler, because that is how much I would be so invested in that. Now, that was basically it. I'm happy that they got an opportunity, and I kind of hope that we do get to see them do a little bit more as a tag team. So I was on board with that, and the match was very enjoyable to see. We got Sleaze Boy. What up, Sleaze Boy? He says, I opened up my Instagram, and what do I see? The GOAT, Tongaloa, botching before the show even started. Who gave up the keys to the vehicle? Poor Tongaloa. Tongaloa out here botching. How sad. Thank you, Sleaze Boy, for the super chat, for popping in, and all of that. Thank you. You're the best, man. We got Corey MacArthur, the most stylish member of the DWO, says, yo, Denise, busy weekend for me. Busy week for me. How are you? Corey, you're always busy. I love that. You always make life simple.
I'll go on the Salamaster.
I'm Christy Nome, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for...
So we got Salamaster. Let's see JD from New York, the other podcast I know of, See if I can let them in. I guess not. Gonna have to wait for a little bit.
This is Andrade and Rey Fenix, Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez, Jelly Roll, and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul will all be appearing live. Of course, we are getting closer and closer to a 2-night SummerSlam, so I'm definitely feeling good about that so far. So there you guys have it, this mini Smackdown review with yours truly. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. As always, thank you for the support, for the love. I will be back for Slammiversary, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, check out the videos, go hit the likes, go leave some comments. It really helps the channel grow so much more, and I'm really trying to grow the channel more than ever before, and it's really hard during the summers. I feel like summer is not always the best time because people are out living lives and not at home watching YouTube, which is great for you guys, bad for me. So please be here, support, give some love, all of that. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. Bye.
Well, hurry, but pretty quick. I'm surprised that Robin wasn't there doing the podcast with her. Well, there's not much here to talk about SmackDown. Well, I want those a few things. Now I can't wait for SummerSlam. Now let's get into Salamonster. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, man. Come on now. Well, I can try and get into some of the news and rumors. We can actually talk about NXT. Now this was on Tuesday this week. NXT. NXT was pretty short, 2 hours. We got Jordan Grace, Trick Williams, and we had The Undertaker. They talked about The Undertaker on here. We had Trick Williams and Joe Hendry. Now, they did wrestle on TNA. We saw the Hardy Boys on TNA as well. We had Obi at the NXT champion. There wasn't much to talk about on NXT, really. Alright, Alright. Okay.
On the show tonight, don't expect more of this. That was the only appearance you're getting here in the month of July. And he didn't really have much to say, but when the show was over tonight, he was actually laid out in the middle of the ring. And we now have a stipulation for the WWE title match at SummerSlam. It will be Cody Rhodes. It will be John Cena. Of course, the way they arrived at this was completely preposterous. Forcing John Cena to sign a contract when the man was laid out unconscious in the middle of the ring. I don't think that would hold up in a court of law. But John Cena was trying to worm his way out of this match and saying, look, I'm just mentally exhausted. And I just don't think it would be in my best interest physically to do this match, so we could push this off to another time. He was trying to push this match off to Paris. He was trying to push it off to Perth. Because, again, his goal was, I'm going to retire as the champion and ruin wrestling. So he was doing everything in his power to basically run out the clock as much as possible. But it didn't work, and so they will be having a street fight at SummerSlam. And we also had a couple of new matches made for SummerSlam. One for the United States Championship. One for the Women's Tag Team Championship,
Wait until you find out how that match was made. This was a one-match show, though. We had a number one contenders match for the WWE Tag Team titles, not for a SummerSlam match, for a match on Smackdown next week. And that was the only thing, in ring-wise, that was the only thing on this show you even have to pay attention to. Everything else on this show was basically throwaway, outside of some of the actual angles they did. On the whole, SmackDown was what SmackDown was. It was a decent show. There were parts of the show tonight where I found myself checking the clock. But then there were parts of the show that I liked. So it was fine. It was fine. It was not it will not knock your socks off or anything like that. But you can see, things are in motion as far as other potential SummerSlam matches. We don't have the full card yet. A lot of matches, though, have come into view in a very short period of time. Because coming out of last weekend's very busy weekend, they had 3 weeks to build their second biggest show of the year, which, by the way, happens to be the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. And in a short period of time, all the key matches are basically accounted for at this point. I think at this rate, where we are now, we're probably looking at another 4 or 5 matches that they need to add, because they do have the 2 nights now. But when you look at the card for SummerSlam, it's a pretty solid card on the whole. But we'll get into the new matches that were made. We'll get into all the other things that happened here on this show. This is your Friday Night SmackDown review. This is how we end the week. It is Friday. It is July 18th, 2025. I am the Solemn Monster. Thank you for joining me tonight. Like and subscribe. Super Chats are open. We have a brand new one coming off of Dynamite just the other night. A brand new Nick Wayne's Mom Super Chat. Yes, indeed. It's in the description down below. If you would like to check out what is in the updated Super Chat list, you may go ahead and do so. Also, fun little announcement here for those of you who are interested to know, this will not be the last live stream before Raw this Monday night, because believe it or not, I will be live on Sunday night to talk TNA Slammiversary. The phenomenal return of one AJ Styles, his first TNA appearance since 2013. And also, Trick Williams will be defending the NXT, or rather the TNA. He's an NXT star, but he'll be defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. JC Jane, the NXT Women's Champion, in a winner-take-all match against the TNA Knockouts Champion, Masha Slamovich. And many more matches on the card as well, but all of the stories have been about that man in the middle right there, AJ Styles. It's a big deal. It's been a very long time since we've seen this man. TNA looks very different. It's not the same TNA that he left. There's no more Dixie. It's a very different company than the one he left over a decade ago, but for old time's sake, and there's no indication of exactly what he'll be doing, but for old time's sake, it's going to be a big deal. And don't forget, they're running the UBS Arena out on Long Island, which is a very big building, and they're not going to fill it. But there should be somewhere in the range of 6,000 or 7,000 fans. It may well end up being the biggest audience, the biggest live crowd in the history of TNA. And that promotion has been around for a very long time. I mean, it's kind of sad, actually, in a way, but I mean, yeah, this company's been around since 2002. You mean to tell me we can't get a crowd, at least the North American crowd anyway, of 10,000 people in 23 years? I mean, what are we doing here? But it's going to be a big event for them this weekend, and I will be here covering it. I do believe that will be my first live TNA review. I have talked about, I used to review TNA weekly for many years when I watched it on the podcast. But in terms of live streams, I do believe this will be a first. So hopefully you will join me for that, and we'll have some fun on Sunday nights. You get 2 podcasts in one day. Let's talk about this SmackDown show, shall we? We very abruptly went to the parking lot where there was a car accident involving the members of Solo Sikoa's family, the MFTs. Adam Pearce, who is filling in for Nick Aldis tonight, various law enforcement officials, they were on the scene to try to sort out exactly what the hell happened here. Solo Sikoa was there, Talatonga was there. The others were talking. Tongaloa was bleeding from the eye. This fucking guy used to walk around with an eye patch. He's going to need another eye patch now. He already missed like 6 months. And he's out there bleeding from the eye. This guy can't catch a break. Cody Rhodes happened to walk by, and he goes over to Adam Pearce, talks about the contract signing he's going to be having later in the show with John Cena. You know, I will say this. I appreciate them doing a different kind of open than the one that we're used to getting every single week. They usually follow a very similar formula. Everyone's walking in, right? You got, who sings this song? Is it Cardi B? The song they use for Smackdown? I don't know if it's Cardi B or Sexy Red or whoever it is, but yeah, you get the music playing and everybody's arriving at the building. Frankly, I think they should do that for everyone when they arrive at the office. I think no matter where you work, every time you arrive to work in the morning, this is what they should have. They should have cameras that are following you as you're walking in. You got your coffee, you got your donut, you got your backpack over your back, you're going to your desk, you're going to your cubicle. I think that would be interesting. Actually, that would not be very interesting. But we didn't get that. Right out to the parking lot. It was like mass panic and chaos. So it was nice to change things up a little bit. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett, they checked in from the announce desk. And very quickly, we went to footage from earlier in the day of Alexa Bliss in the back. And she is holding her Lily doll. Buy the doll! We got to get the doll on TV so we can sell more dolls. Charlotte Flair shows up, and she informs Alexa that she spoke with Adam Pearce and got them a tag team title match at SummerSlam. Now, they're the right team. That's the right match to do, but I was not expecting that to be the way we get to the match. And even Alexa was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you just walked into his office, asked for a match, and just like that, we have a tag team championship match? And she goes, well, I am still Charlotte Flair, you know. That she is. She's got some pull. So evidently she can be very persuasive. And just like that, we have our Women's Tag Team Championship match for SummerSlam. I wonder how the other teams who were in that Fatal 4-Way at Evolution feel about the fact that these women are getting a title match just by asking for it. But then again, I guess Charlotte beat him to the punch. They were too slow. Who knew? That's all you had to do. Now, I should mention that in the background during this, you could see Julia, the United States champion, who was not, other than this, was not even on the show tonight. Julia was walking in the background, and with Julia, if you squinted your eyes and really looked closely, was Kiana James. We've not seen Kiana James on TV. It was very shortly after she made her Raw debut last year. She disappeared. And we heard about a knee injury, probably a torn ACL. I mean, what else is new? How many women from the Performance Center have torn their ACL? Probably all of them at this point. But she hurt her knee, she had surgery, she disappeared. The last time we saw her in the ring was June of last year. So she was in the background walking with Julia. She was also on Main Event tonight before SmackDown went on the air. She had a match against Michin, so it's good to see her back. So we had Charlotte Flair against Raquel Rodriguez. This was our opening match here of the night. Roxanne Perez was at ringside, tried to sneak up on Charlotte after they ended up outside, but Alexa warded her off. This allowed Raquel to take advantage, and she tossed Flair into the ring post. That sent us into the first commercial break here of the night. JP says, who? Kiana James. Yeah, I guess if you don't watch NXT, she wasn't really around on the main roster long enough for people to know who she is, so it's actually a fair question. But again, you wouldn't, if you didn't squint your eyes, you wouldn't even know. You probably would not have even noticed that she was in the background. I could tell just based on the way she dresses, I could tell. It takes a curious fighter.
Alright, let's go on to the other podcaster. Let me invite JD from New York. He about to get in right now.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here
on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night Smackdown post show for July 18th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. And no, I don't like corn in my burrito. Thank you so very much for joining me on this Friday evening, wherever you may be, man. Friday Night Smackdown. We are 2 weeks away from Summerslam in New Jersey, man. The first ever two-night Summerslam. Somewhat excited for it. I said on social media today that, and don't take this as WWE is reigniting that fire and they're all of a sudden hot. There is no promotion in the United States right now that's hot. Maybe TNA. TNA is selling upwards towards 7,000 tickets for the UBS Arena this coming Sunday. Maybe they're hot. Don't take this as WWE is turning things around and they're all of a sudden hot creatively again and they're garnering massive interest. But SummerSlam match quality-wise is shaping up to be better than WrestleMania. It's not supposed to be that way because WrestleMania should be the best show that they put on all year. It's WrestleMania. And a lot of WrestleMania felt very flat. SummerSlam, it looks like WWE is at least trying to bring some of their stories, whatever that may be, into SummerSlam, into New Jersey. And the card, the way that it's shaping up, match quality-wise, is certainly looking to be better than WrestleMania. They got some of those stories across tonight. We got some major stipulations added to two big SummerSlam matches, one being for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu will get Solo Sikoa in a rematch for the United States Championship inside a steel cage. Now, you know better than anybody that these structures are supposed to keep everybody out. They never work as advertised. So I'm expecting a lot of bloodline or MFT interference in the steel cage, but it's nice that WWE has upped the ante for the United States Championship and made it a little bit more of a dangerous situation instead of just another boring one-on-one match. The other major stipulation that we got tonight was John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. That will be the main event of SummerSlam, closing out night 2. You can automatically see that Cody Rhodes and his mentality, because I don't know the man, obviously. I've never spoken to the man, obviously. But you know the criticism from WrestleMania this year in April. All the criticism that came out of that match and how terrible the WrestleMania match was, where he was legitimately 1 year prior a part of the maybe the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time against Roman Reigns, where he finished his story. He took that momentum into next year's WrestleMania, this year's WrestleMania, and he delivered one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time.
And it was
That
fucking
shit
stupid.
bothered Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, and it was.
Absolutely. I know it would bother me. It would bother any human being, man. That was awful.
Yeah, and it was
An
stupid.
absolute disgusting shit show was that main event at WrestleMania. It seemingly looks like they are trying to make this one a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Contract signing tonight, and after the contract signing was over, we got a stipulation in the way of a street fight added to this match at SummerSlam, so it looks like they are trying to make this a little bit more interesting. Now, I already see some in the chat mentioning The Rock and Dwayne Johnson making an appearance here in New Jersey. I am not going to mention or utter the man's name outside of what I just mentioned. The Rock will not be showing up in New Jersey, and if he does, I don't give a shit. Because all it's going to do is get people's hopes up. All it's going to do is cause more drama and more chaos. And all it's going to do is add another element to the story of Cody Rhodes that will remain unfinished. And there's no sense in getting excited about it because he never follows through with anything he wants to do anyway. So who gives a shit? I'm not here to talk about The Rock. I don't want to see The Rock. I don't give a fuck about The Rock. I don't want to see him again after what he did going into WrestleMania. I don't care. Keep him as far away from the product as humanly possible, because all I feel is that it put a negative stigma on the fucking product, and they have not recovered since. I don't want it. We don't want to see him at all. I don't give a fuck what he does. I don't want to see it. Now, he may show up and everybody gets excited. What is it going to mean? Is Cody turning heel? Is he finally going to sell his soul? Is he going to shake The Rock's hand after all this fucking time? And where does it go? Cody sells his soul, Cody shakes his hand, Cody turns heel, and then does what? What is The Rock's business on TV after that? I don't give a shit. No Rock. What they do to fix what they did at WrestleMania, I don't fucking know. A Cody win seems very boring, honestly. Wow, he beats John Cena, man. He gets the WWE Championship back. Let's celebrate. What a great ending to a show, man. There's got to be something that comes out of that match that takes us into the following week's television. What's going to happen? Or maybe WWE is just going to play it safe like they usually do, which is, if you bet money on it, I won't be surprised if you did, because WWE has played it safe more times than I care to mention. Maybe they just play it safe. Maybe Cody does win. Maybe they go off the air celebrating. Everybody's happy. Cody gets his championship back, two-time WWE champion. We go off the air. That would be fucking boring, but maybe that's what they want for this Cody Rhodes second run. We got a street fight. I thought the contract signing was okay. They went about it in a different way. They did very, very old school heel John Cena tactics, where he basically told Cody Rhodes that he wasn't going to be at SummerSlam because he was filming a movie in New York, and the movie and the people of Hollywood or wherever, his bosses, don't want him wrestling. Don't want him getting injured before finishing the filming of this movie. So he told everybody he's not going to show up. One thing led to another. We got the big belt tease. John Cena went to go hit Cody Rhodes with the belt. Cody Rhodes kicked John Cena in the midsection. The belt popped out of John Cena's hands. Cody caught the WWE title belt and then did not hesitate tonight to hit him like he very much did hesitate at WrestleMania. Ultimately, he looked like a geek at WrestleMania because he didn't want to do it with the referee down. Completely fucking stupid. But this time tonight, he did not hesitate. And then Cody Rhodes signed the contract with John Cena's own hands. And the match was made tonight for SummerSlam. In other news tonight, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Another week of, criticizing what's going on, man. I'm actually okay with what's going on here. Tag team title match now made for SummerSlam. If you're Dave Meltzer, you're in the mud tonight because he put out a report today that Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair was going to be the SummerSlam match and that there would be a turn on Friday Night Smackdown in the next 2 weeks. I'm here to tell you that if you pay for the Observer at $14.99, you're a complete fucking idiot. Because that did not happen tonight, because Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are still very much a tag team, and I'm here to tell you that the tag team title match at SummerSlam is going to be Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. $15 that you could very well give me, so I could add to my coffee addiction.
Yeah.
Don't pay for dirt sheets. They are robbing you blind with absolute garbage. SmackDown tonight was alright, man. It wasn't a bad show. It's not a bad show like AEW is a bad show. Like Dynamite or Collision is a bad show. It's just boring. And boring sometimes is much worse than being a bad show because I'm just so apathetic towards the product. I'm just emotionless towards the product.
Because the match wasn't that good.
It wasn't a bad show.
It was alright.
Something where I'm gonna come on here for 2 hours and fucking rant, bitch, and complain, but boring show?
Yeah.
We'll go over it tonight. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Friday.
There were only maybe 2 things that were interesting. The storyline with Solo and Jacob, and then Cody and Cena. And the only good match that was worth watching was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, where Andrade and Rey Fenix won. everything else with the filler, throwaway. Now we still got like what, 2 more weeks until SummerSlam? I can't wait till we get to SummerSlam. I don't care what can happen on that show. Something has to happen.
Night. Hopefully you're enjoying your Friday evening going on into the summer solstice with a 100 super chat. Didn't watch Smackdown yet, but saw we are.
One wheel just leveled up.
Alright, hold on. Hold on, I gotta get my podcast back here. Alright.
Jacob Fatu exits the back of the SUV, and one of the rent-a-cops, who we saw on screen earlier in the show, who wanted to question Jacob Fatu as a person of interest, and I would love for somebody to try to find out which independent promotion this guy works for. This particular cop also exits the vehicle. He apologizes. The cops apologized to Jacob Fatu, saying that he was cleared as a person of interest after they reviewed the footage. And Fatu called them punk-ass police, and he began his march to the ring. As Fatu was making his way down, Jimmy Uso got the drop on the MFTs with an ambush. Fatu and Uso, they laid waste to all of them until Tala Tonga pulled Jimmy out of the ring. Looked like he was about to chokeslam him through the announce table. Fatu, though, flew out of the ring with a dive to stop that from happening. But then after a few seconds, Tala Tonga recovered. He rose. Like, Jacob Fatu is having that, I don't know if I hate to say it. It looks like he's having a stroke or some kind of being possessed by a demon or something. You know, he starts shaking and everything, and everybody starts cheering. But in the background behind him, behind the announce desk, we see Tala Tonga rise like a sea monster back to his feet. And he turns around and he realizes that Tala Tonga is back on his feet. But he eventually gets taken down by a double super kick from Jacob and Jimmy. There was a crossbody by Jimmy that took Tala Tonga out over the timekeeper's barricade down to the concrete floor. Fatu attacked Solo Sikoa inside the ring and was about to hit a running hip attack to Solo, who was down with a chair wrapped around his neck. When JC Mateo intercepted Fatu, that gave Solo enough time to escape. Fatu and Solo proceeded to take out their frustrations on JC Mateo and poor Tonga Loa with a chair. Adam Pearce came out on stage, and he asked Solo if he was trying to frame an innocent man and get Fatu locked up. Pearce said that they would see how Solo likes it, and he announced that at SummerSlam, Solo Sikoa will have to defend his United States Championship against Jacob Fatu, but it will not be any ordinary match. It will be inside of a steel cage. And Pearce had the cops come out, and he told them, "He's all yours." And Solo tried to point the cops to Fatu, but they handcuffed him instead, and they escorted him to the back. Again, Solo Sikoa has these moments. He's actually very funny. And the one good thing about the Solo Sikoa we see now is compared to the way he would have been, I don't know, a year and a half ago, is that now we can see more of his personality, and he's actually a genuinely funny guy. And this was one of those situations, because as the cops are coming down the aisle, he figures they're going down to arrest Jacob. He goes, "There he is, guys." He's pointing him out. He's acting all goofy. And, of course, the cops get to him, and as he's pointing, they grab his hand, and they put him behind his back, and they handcuff him instead. And he starts to freak out. So I thought that was entertaining. It's been a minute since we've had an arrest angle, I feel like, on a wrestling show here on TV. Fatu came off well here. I mean, the fans were very receptive. Obviously, he's super over. But after he got out of the SUV backstage and he started the march down to the ring, they were chanting his name. Like, they were ready for him to come out there. So they're still solidly behind him. Solo tried to get him locked up. So now he's the one who's going to be locked up with Jacob. Only makes sense. Inside a cage at SummerSlam. You know, I would sit here and tell you guys that it's also to keep out the MFTs, but yeah, fat chance that's going to happen. This Timu Bloodline, though. I mean, they come out there every single week. But for the odd week here and there where maybe they get to stand tall, they sure do get their asses kicked an awful lot. Like, if they're supposed to be an intimidating group, I mean, you got Tongaloa in there, for God's sakes, but they're supposed to be an intimidating group. They're not doing a very good job. They may be the least intimidating group that I have seen in this company in years. We got a recap of a brawl that broke out on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Yes, if you have not seen it, and I'm sure most of you have by now, there was an angle they shot on Wednesday night, and it was great publicity for WWE. Jelly Roll was standing in for Jimmy Kimmel and guest hosting his show, late night on ABC. He had Randy Orton on as his guest. Drew McIntyre interrupted the interview. He ended up brawling off set with Orton. Logan Paul showed up. He insulted Jelly Roll. He slapped him in the face. And Jelly Roll chokeslammed him through what looked like a cardboard table, the desk in front of him. And then he got in a quick plug, did Jelly Roll, at the end for the tag match coming up at SummerSlam. Guy's already a worker. So for WWE, they got some great mainstream publicity out of it, even though it was a pretty goofy angle, the way it came off. But they replayed that whole thing. All 4 of them will be on Smackdown next week. So, I don't know if they said what they were going to be doing, but they will be on the show next week. They're going to be in Cleveland, which is where Logan is from. Stephanie Vaquer graced our television screens. A rare appearance here on a Friday, even though she is a Monday Night Raw talent. No mention of anything. She's just on SmackDown. Okay. All right. That doesn't matter anymore. She was in action against Alba Fire, representing Chelsea Green's Secret Hervis. Piper Niven was there. Chelsea Green was not there. We got to see the Devil's Kiss, to the delight of all the fans and the announcers and podcasters. Alba attempted a gory special. Vaquer countered and finished things off with the SVB.
Yeah. Alright.
I still don't understand why we're just having Raw superstars on Friday Night SmackDown with no real plausible explanation, but I'm not booking the show, so all I can do is call it out and ask a question. I don't know why WWE just ignores their brand split and their rules for separate brands. Vince did it, Triple H did it. I don't even know why the fuck we have separate brands, to be quite honest with you. All the shows would be so much better if we did not operate under a brand split.
The brand split doesn't
Charlotte Flair
exist.
and Raquel Rodriguez.
Brand split doesn't exist. It doesn't matter.
This happened before the match. Charlotte and Alexa had a vignette air, or a backstage segment that happened earlier in the evening. Bliss and Flair will have a women's tag team championship match against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Alexa Bliss went to Adam Pearce and got them a tag team title match. I guess you just have to ask. Lo and behold, wish granted. And then Charlotte asked Bliss to be in her corner, and she agreed. And we got this match. It's fine for what it was. It's nothing more than one of those matches that built momentum for one of the teams heading into their big match at SummerSlam. Bell rings, both ladies lock up in the middle of the ring. They exchange holds. Rodriguez gained some momentum here, some shoulder blocks. Flair came back with a ugly-looking hurricanrana. I don't know why Charlotte... This is a problem. I don't know why Charlotte is not the most graceful of the women. Keep that shit to Io. Keep that to Io and Kyrie and all the Joshis, okay? Charlotte, I don't know why she leaves her feet. She is as ungraceful as they come. Moonsaults, crossbody. She used to do a good Spanish fly off the top rope. I don't know what happened to that. I would absolutely trade that out for the moonsault. Honestly, I don't know why she leaves her feet. It's just so ugly looking. Clothesline followed, crossbody to the outside, which did not look bad. She slingshotted herself to the outside. We go into a commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. Rodriguez lifted up Flair in a torture rack. That got countered. Rodriguez maintained advantage over Charlotte with a series of boots and stomps. Charlotte was down on the mat. She did her twisting Vader bomb in the corner, did Rodriguez. Flair gets back, starts making a comeback. Knife edge chops, somersault clothesline. Flair then delivered a German suplex as she goes up top and hits the crossbody off the top rope. Rodriguez rolled right through and turned that into a tornado power slam of her own. That looked very good. I'm enjoying the work of Raquel Rodriguez as of late. I am. I don't know, maybe I got a soft spot for Raquel, but I quite enjoy Raquel. Rodriguez attempted to lift Flair up for the Tejano bomb, or the Tejana bomb. Flair countered, hit a big boot. Roxanne tried to create some distraction here. This gave Bliss the opportunity to hit Rodriguez,
Well, I might have stop the video. I think I made it long enough. Actually, been very short. I did say it was gonna make an hour. Might well be an hour and 5 minutes. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys want to see more. Hit that like button. I probably should talk more about AEW. You know, what we saw on AEW Dynamite. What we saw at AEW All In 2025. The pay-per-view on Sunday. Heyman Page finally beat Jon Moxley, become new AEW World Champion. A big moment, a great match. And the other match is like the Hurt Syndicate. But yeah, might as well just end the video. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. I will do Monday Night Raw live stream. I think I'll do a different live stream on Monday. Maybe I'll play Fortnite. Wait, hold on. Yeah, so I'll probably do Fortnite. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm gonna start the video.